Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 289. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have an amazing show for the BEB family. We're going to be talking to Mr. Belvin Baldwin. He's the founder of Showtime Travel. Now, before I forget, if you want to watch this video of me doing the show, just go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and hit episode 289, and you'll be able to watch me to do the show today. So today's show topic is From Corporate America to Successful Luxury Travel Consultant. So we're going to talk with Belvin today, and we're going to talk about his entrepreneurial journey, how he left corporate America to become one of the premier luxury travel consultants in the country, focusing on the African American community. So hold tight and let me share a few more things with you before we start today's show. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please make sure you stick around until the end of today's show, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and my resource links, such as the link to my book, A New Black Wall Street, and also my e-commerce platforms to help circulate dollars in the Black community. Now, also, if you're watching this on YouTube, all the links for all my resources are below. Make sure you also subscribe to me on the YouTube channel, because additional content is on YouTube that is not on the podcast. Now, the podcast is on all your major podcast platforms, and the show also comes out on YouTube. But once again, please subscribe to YouTube, because I have additional content that is not on the podcast platform. And once again, all the links are below if you are watching this on YouTube. If you listen to this, just go to bebconnect.com, bebconnect.com. So let's get ready for our interview with Belvin Baldwin, the founder of Showtime Travel. Live with Belvin Baldwin of Showtime Travel. Brother Belvin, how are you this morning?
I am doing well, and thank you for having me.
Most definitely, man. Travel is pretty big, obviously all around the world. So we're going to dive into that. But first, we want to talk about your entrepreneurial journey. So for the listeners who aren't familiar with you, tell us a little bit about Belvin Baldwin, the person, where you're from, and then we'll get into your entrepreneurial journey. Just a little background on yourself.
Oh, certainly. First of all, thank you for having me on this platform again. I've been listening to you for a while, and I remember the Dennis Kimbrough interview. I even read his book, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. But coming back to me, I was born in Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. Went to school there, raised there, graduated from there. And then just like a lot of Black people, we transitioned to Atlanta, the Mecca. So we went down. After I graduated, I got my engineering degree and was promoted, moved to a job here in Atlanta. And then in Atlanta, I was in sales. So
Okay.
I was not like your regular engineer. I went into sales. So, it taught me a lot about value and how to really increase that bottom line for companies. But unfortunately, just like a lot of salespeople, we are expendable. So
Definitely.
I got laid off a few times and, downsized and everything else, sometimes even bringing in major profits for companies. It's just the way it goes. I learned a lot about that business. But, one time, I had moved down there, moved to Atlanta, got a house, had a, young child, and you got laid off. So that's what, prompted me to say, okay, I have to have more than one mainstream of income.
Okay.
And that's when I started looking into travel, because I wanted to do something that, that I really like to do.
Cool. Yeah, it's fine. It seems like a lot of us have those issues or concerns. We're in corporate America, things are going well. Then all of a sudden something happens, you get laid off, the company gets purchased or something like that. And now we're out there on our own. So you made a great point, man, in terms about multiple streams of income. So I always talk about how one is the worst number in business. If you only have one stream of income, you're in trouble. So
exactly. Learned that.
So travel. I wanted to get into this because on a previous episode, actually you and I talked about this off of the air. I had a young lady from Nielsen, Cheryl Grace, a senior VP from Nielsen, and she talked about how Black households actually spend $43,000, I think it was $115 a year in cold hard cash to purchase things, where the average household spends $42,500. And so even though our per household income is lower than the average, we actually expend more money, and which actually surprised me. I know we spend money on a lot of stuff, but it actually surprised me. A lot of times we'll spend money on things that don't appreciate or don't even have any value. But I wanted to ask you, and we'll get into it in depth a little later, was the income available for Black people, was that a reason or a part of your reason that you market your travel services to the African American community, or was it because you're Black and you're trying to work in that community?
Well, it's a little bit of both. I'm gonna be honest with you. My surroundings and my network are mostly Black,
right.
And I started off opening it up to everybody, but when I looked at my client base, it was more Black people. So, usually you sell to your network and people refer people that they know. But right. What I found out just as I started to grow my niche, that I can relate to Black people when it comes to their needs. What right. we do is we design luxury vacations for busy professionals. So all they have to do is show up. So cool. What we wanted to do is make sure that we provide a service to help them meeting those goals. And I listened to that episode with Cheryl, and I was surprised as well to know that we had such a high amount there. And, when I look at that, and I was thinking, we have, sometimes we get caught up in consumer mindset and sometimes going after material products.
Right.
And what I wanted to do is bring something, and something that I'm doing with my family as well, is with travel, it brings out experiences and right. lifelong memories. So you can get that product, or maybe that, that name brand, whatever, or even that name brand car, shoes, clothes, whatever. But that kind of eventually goes away. When you have a vacation and you do that life experience and those memories, and it just it's lifelong. So you will never forget. It will never fade away.
Right. Yeah, and we're going to touch on that a little later on. But I wanted to ask you, man, how did you go from engineering and sales and starting Showtime Travel? What was the impetus? I know that, you wanted some additional income, but why the travel industry? What brought you to that industry?
Well, when I graduated from college, when I went to college, I went to college to get a job, right. and when I went into engineering, I looked at engineering not like, I really want to be an engineer. I knew if I graduated from engineering, I was going to get a job without having to get an MBA or right. a doctorate. I was going to graduate and get a good paying job. And that was the mindset. I grew up in Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, which was factory workers. You wanted to get on the line and things of that right. nature. It was all about getting a job. So when I did get it, I really wasn't enjoying engineering. It wasn't me, but thank goodness during the internship, somebody introduced me to sales. Okay. So I was like, okay, that's different. I don't have to be in the office a lot and this and that. And it taught me a lot about how to sales. Some people are scared of sales. Sales is nothing more than solving a problem. You provide value by solving that problem. But what I learned is, after going through a lot of situations, sometimes I learned a lot, but on the other hand, I got tired of fighting, for my reviews and always trying to prove myself for a 2% raise. And my healthcare insurance is going above the 2%, so I'm already at a loss anyway.
Right, working
so,
behind
so I got tired of that. So I had to find something to say. I was tired of existing. I wanted to live, and that's when I started thinking of things that I really, if money wasn't the object, all these things, where would you do? And travel was one of them. And so when I got into travel, I just really started learning about the business and always had that drive to kind of see new things and new cultures, how people live, and bring it back home.
Cool. So let me ask you this. One of the things that when people branch out, did you start out on directly? Did you leave corporate America and were you full-time with your travel business, or did you start it part-time?
I started it part-time. It was a side hustle, and I did it for a while. So I was building up my email database. I started working with people, started building up, as they say, your tribe, my community. And then people started referring other people to me. I started kind of marketing to those people, usually email marketing, or content, providing different things to them to always keep my brand in front of them. And when I gave them that great service, and the greatest compliment to me is a referral. And I've been getting a lot of referrals.
Cool. Now, when you transition to full-time, what was the thought process behind that? And did something spark you going from side hustle to full-time into your travel business?
Yeah, what sparked me was it was time. It was time. I never forget. I was at home. I talked to my wife, and I have a wife and a daughter. Right. And to tell them that the income is not coming in, and you're gonna have to sit back a little bit and allow me to grow this. That's a conversation that had to be had. But she understood, and it was great that I could get the support that say, hey, she understood, because I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. And I always wanted to do this. So I said, I had the network of people. I saved a little bit, and I already had customers in place. Now was the time to scale. So I was, my mindset before was like, I'm gonna do this when I get a certain dollar amount, or when I always kept putting it off. But until you put your feet in that fire, that's the only way you're gonna really think and be resourceful. And I was always thinking, when is the right time? When is the right time? The right time is now.
That's it. Yeah, that's a tough transition for a lot of people to make, because you leave that safety net of that salary, every week, every 2 weeks, every month, however you get paid. And now it's like, man, I'm on my own. So, I gotta eat what I kill. And so that's a big transition. So in terms of your transition, you had touched on it a little bit about having some savings. How did you actually finance your travel business?
Well, the good thing is we were already making some revenue, but I always tell people, I had good credit. Okay. And I had good credit. I had I was an 800 credit score. And so I was able to have business credit cards already set for me. So cool. That helped me along with the transition, because my credit was good enough where, basically instead of asking the banks for the loan, I would get a credit card company will give me X amount of money with just a 3% finance charge. Oh, that was one of the great things about having good credit that allowed me to finance it.
Right. All right, cool. Yeah, because that's a big thing that a lot of people start off with, especially if they're pushed into entrepreneurship, if they lose their job and don't see any other way. Having adequate financing is always a big heads up in terms of being able to help you to become successful. But there are a lot of companies out there, man, like a lot of these .com companies years ago that had all of this money, and they end up blowing the money because they had so much money. They really didn't have to be as resourceful as you mentioned when you're on, a smaller or tighter budget. On the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, man, we always talk about problem solving, right? So I always talk about problem, solution, and result. So if you want to start a business, you always try to solve, not always, but solving problems is a great way to start a business when you're trying to decide what type of business do you want to start. So with Showtime Travel, man, what type of problems or problem do you solve?
Well, let me give you a story. This is how I solved this problem.
Okay.
So I went to I'm traveling. I just kind of started in the business, and I went to travel with my wife, and we designed a vacation on our own. We really didn't know what we were doing. We weren't using any professionals, and we went to Carousel. In fact, people were calling it Caraco. That's how we didn't know exactly
right
it was. So
I've heard people use that. Sir.
Yeah. So we actually went. We designed it ourselves based on just looking at online reviews and things of that nature. So we looked at this looks nice. Pointed at this. This flight looks nice. Blah blah blah. So when we get there, woo, it was a whole different story. So when we hit there, I don't know if you remember the Chris Rock show when they said, something's crazy when it's on Martin Luther King Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. This resort was actually on Martin Luther King Drive. So I mean, but it was crazy. So we get in there, the lady at the front desk, she was kind of not friendly. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is just a situation. Your room's not ready, blah, blah, blah. Okay. We're flexible. Yeah. So rude. But finally we get to the room after waiting. Man, I'm telling you, it is so messed up and corroded. And I mean, you're talking about rust everywhere. It was so bad that we were thinking about leaving that night to find out. Basically, it wasn't enough flights to get back home. We was like, oh, this is terrible.
Wow.
It was, it was so bad. My wife put she didn't sleep. She didn't take the sheets off. We had to sleep on top of the bed, and she had brought her little cover that she always brings with her, when she flies on the airport. Now, this is showing as a four-star resort, 4 out of 5. So, man, I went out. Let me cut this story short. I went out. I was on my vacation looking for a vacation. And then finally found another another nice spot. We stayed there, and we enjoyed the vacation from there. With all that being said, the reason I said this is we did like a lot of other people out there. We depended on, building ourselves instead of working with a professional. And when I was in the industry, people were telling me, hey, I could have told you that when I started networking with other
travel professionals.
Because what you see is not what you get. And that helped me to define our niche, because what we do is we design luxury vacations for busy professionals. So all they have to do is show up. We were that busy professional because we thought that, hey, we're all working this and that. We can kind of do this, and just by looking at the reviews. So we found that niche to say, hey, we understand those busy professionals out there, and we want to work with you. Let us help you design that vacation that's important to you. And that's the key word. The vacation has to be really important to you. So we can design that vacation, take care of all those things. Let our industry knowledge, because a lot of what you see out there is not what you get. And we put those things together for you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man, because it's funny. I've had several stories like that, too. One year, my girls were probably 10 and 7, and we were going to Myrtle Beach. And so I talked to one of my buddies that grew up around there, and he was like, yeah, man, check out this hotel, blah, blah, blah. Go online, do the same thing you talk about. Oh, it looks nice. Now, my girls are used to a certain level of living, right? So my 10-year-old, my oldest daughter, we drive up to the hotel, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, as I drive it, I'm looking down. Is this right? Because it looks nothing like what we saw. And so the first thing my daughter said was, Daddy, this isn't a hotel. This is a motel. Rooms were on the outside. And I was like, baby, I know. And I was like, oh, so we go in. That place smelled dank and dusty. And so it was supposedly a beachfront resort with a beachfront view. We get in there, almost the same thing that your wife did. We slept on top of the covers. There was rust around the sink. The master bedroom had a Murphy bed. So if you don't know what a Murphy bed is, a bed that's in the wall and you pull
Walls,
it down.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so the girls sat there. Then what they didn't tell us was during the night, we were right outside of the deck. We were probably on a like 6th or 7th floor. And it was like music all night till about 2:00. I mean, and so the next day we got up. I think we stayed 2 days. We were supposed to be there for 6 or 7. And I was telling my wife, yo, we got to go. And she's like, oh, no, it's not that bad. Finally, after the second day, she was like, let's get out of here. We got our money back for the rest of the stay. And we ended up going to a Marriott at Broadway on the beach, a regular Courtyard Marriott. And it felt like I was in, one of the Waldorf Astoria
compared to that one.
Yeah, but it was something that, once again, you see something online and it looks good, but you get there and it may be something else. So yeah, that's a major problem. So I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I definitely see how you solve that problem, man. Let me ask you this, Belvin. In terms of your customer base, who is your ideal customer? I know you work with all types of groups and individuals. Who would you say is an ideal customer for you?
Ideal customer is that busy professional that is looking to take an important vacation or really understands the value of the vacation time. And for example, they're looking to, a lot of our people kind of come to us when they're celebrating a life event, such as a milestone birthday, a reunion retreat, or even, a honeymoon, destination weddings. We've done that. So it's usually sometimes around an event and they want to make sure that this vacation is right. So they're busy, they understand, they're not do-it-yourselfers, but they want to be informed. So what they want to do is just say, hey, we want to outsource this to you. We understand that you provide knowledge that we may not have. I want to outsource to you because I want it done right. This vacation is important to me.
Okay. So you work with individuals, excuse me, and also groups. And so a lot of times a specific event may be something that you do, or that may be a target for it.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. It's usually sometimes we'll do anything from solo couples to groups, travelers. The main thing is what we do is it is luxury travel. So it's a standard. We usually deal with 4 or 5 star resorts. We do anything from all-inclusive getaways, luxury cruises to guided tours as well.
Oh, wow.
People even come to us and we provide villa vacations.
Oh, wow.
So what it is when you come to us, what we do is we design an itinerary for you. So
cool.
It's not just hotel, flight, or something like that. We put an itinerary together so you can enjoy your vacation and give you kind of different ideals and options to get the most out of the destination.
Okay, so for example, if I get a vacation with you, say me and my wife and I were going to do a 25th, 30th wedding anniversary, whatever it is, and we say, hey man, I want to go to such and such place. Can you find some place where I can zip line, I can kayak, I can do certain activities and stuff like that? So you'd be able.
Yes, I mean, for example, we just had a group of women just take their 50th birthday in Italy.
Cool.
So she had not only her girlfriends came along, but we had the flight. We had people pick them up from the airport, private tours. They went to different excursions. Some of them even have cooking classes. Cooking classes so they can get a little authentic Italian cooking. Different activities from going into the museum. A variety of different things when it comes to the culture, entertainment, and education. So you get a little bit of mix of all that. And it's based on really what you tell us. So that's the great thing about it is you tell us, what do you want to feel? What is your budget? And we try to design that vacation for you. So we want to give you that experience. Unlike some of, you may see some of these agencies out here, and it's different types of agencies out there and travel advisors where I see a lot of people just joining groups. We're kind of different is because we customize that, or customize a vacation package for you. So, if it's just you and your wife, or maybe it's you and your wife and you want to invite your other couples or friends, we can make that happen for you.
Okay, cool. Now, you had mentioned something about luxury travel. So what is luxury travel versus regular travel?
Right, and that's a good question, because it's a lot of misconception out there. Luxury is subjective, and
Okay.
but I want people to really understand it is not for the affluent alone or the high income people. Basically, luxury is just a style of exclusivity, pretty much service,
Hmm.
and convenience. So those are the
Okay.
kind of things that you want when it comes to it. Because some of my top people some of my top clients are not really affluent. They just plan and save for that vacation because it's important to them, and they
Right.
want to make sure when they go on vacation that they're not just traveling. My clients are kind of people who say, I'm not there just to get a stamp on my passport.
Passport. Right.
I'm there for a
Mhm.
vacation. I'm not staying in a hostel just to say I was there.
Right.
I'm there because I want to get the most out of it. And so they
Gotcha.
pay for the extra things because it's important to them.
Yeah.
So that's why our tagline on Showtime Travel, you see it. It's you deserve a luxury vacation. So we want to
Mhm.
make sure that you have those things out there.
Okay.
I always kind of give this kind of
Mhm.
comparison. They sell steak at Golden Corral and they sell steak at Morton's.
Right.
Both of them are steak.
Hmm.
It depends on which one you like. I'm not saying Golden Corral is bad. I'm not saying Morton is good, but it's your choice. It's
Right.
a different style when it comes to the service and quality when it comes to Morton as compared to Golden Corral. I'm not
Right.
saying you're bad if you eat at Golden Corral, but I'm just saying it's a difference,
It's
and
a
that's what
difference.
it
Yeah.
is when it comes to luxury.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, man. And you had talked about an experience too, and one of the greatest, probably the greatest vacation that my family had, excuse me, had was when we had gone to Turks and Caicos years ago, and
Uh,
just my wife and my daughters and I, and the kids still talk about that today. That was one of the most relaxing and beautiful vacations that we ever had. And you're right, it's creating memories and having experiences and stuff like that. So that's something that you can't even put a price on that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
as you see, I think a lot of people are kind of changing the narrative of Christmas now. Instead of just
Mhm.
giving gifts, they're doing they're traveling. So
Exactly.
to create those memories, because it's kind of some people are going into debt and things of that nature, and you go into debt buying this, and a child may break that toy
Right.
in the
And
first two
it's a wrap.
hours. Yeah, so it's
Exactly.
just a lot of us are creating memories now and number one, for that relaxation and that peace of mind. That's one thing
Right.
to point out. You're not worried, you're not straight. People are still stressing on Christmas Day.
Right.
When you get away, it's great for your health.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you too. So, as a travel professional, why do you think people need vacations? I mean, I know what my thoughts are: relaxation and clear your mind sometime and just decompress. But why do people need vacations?
Well, I tell you, one of the main things I always say is, I saw this meme and it says, use your vacation days. Don't live to work, work to live. And
Right.
that's the thing, when I look at it, it's a study out there that so many people leave their PTO days or, on the
Hmm.
table. I mean, yeah, strong majority of them never use their vacation days at work,
Right.
and you need those. You need it for to create memories. Not only that, to relieve your stress. I think when you take a vacation day, it's really vacationing away from everything, so you can
Right.
kind of put some time for you, and with the increased um, look at it, mental health and stress, and not only what stress can cause from heart
Hmm.
disease and everything else. You need that time to relax, and whoever you're with, maybe family, friends, or whatever your network of people you travel with, that
Hmm.
creates so many lifelong memories. You know,
Definitely.
it's something just like you said. You were talking about Turks and Caicos. I get so much joy, and just when people come back and tell me how much fun and how great the vacation was, it is nothing more fulfilling than that. I mean, I get, you could go to our reviews on Google, you'll see it. I mean, it is fun and it's not something, it's everybody has their own goals for vacation. Some people say I had a great time. Some people say I needed that. I needed, relaxation. Hey, I got engaged while I was there. I get it all. And to get that and knowing that I designed that for you, it's nothing more fulfilling than that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, because one of the things is too that as an entrepreneur, a lot of times we're under stress. So, here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the majority of our listeners are current entrepreneurs or people that are looking to transition into entrepreneurship. So what would you tell current entrepreneurs and prospective entrepreneurs about the importance of a vacation in their production?
I would say definitely you need it. Current entrepreneurs. And the thing is, what I would say is plan for it.
Right.
And when you do it, I want you to do it right. The last thing you want to do is go on a vacation and planning a vacation while you're on vacation, because that's going to give you more stress, out there. It's easy ways you can plan it. I'm going to tell you, some of the techniques that I use while, if you're still working at the job, talk to your resources department and have your money direct deposited to a different account that you can't get to a lot. I used a lot of things like, rewards credit cards. I'm a big proponent of Chase Sapphire. So, that's probably one of the top travel credit cards out there. You use those resources to grow and get that, grow and save, so you can really, when you do take a vacation, it is a true vacation. And as far as my entrepreneurs that are already out there in the game, I know sometimes it may be a little tight, but if you plan in advance, from looking in, and we provide resources when it comes to flights and hotels, because you don't have to pay everything up front. That's a misconception out there. And that's something when people book online, they have to do everything up front. It's a payment plan with our services where you can just put a percentage down, and usually the balance is not due to about 45 days prior to departure.
Oh, that's what's up. And we're going to talk about that too, because I had some questions, and I know you'll straighten it out about some of the misconceptions, but we're definitely going to get to that, man. Now it sounds like your business is going well, man, but as we all know, business just doesn't go from 0 to 100, man. So can you share a time with the BEB family where you had a setback or major challenge, and if you were able to overcome it, how did you do that, and what did you learn from it?
Oh, well, man, many major challenges out there. It is not easy, but, one, I'm going to tell you probably my first one was I was doing a trip. This may date me a little bit, but I was doing a trip when I was first starting. I was trying to figure out what my niche was. And I was doing a trip from Atlanta to New Orleans for a football game, so that's a big rivalry here. So this is before I was doing luxury vacations. I'm just trying to do travel here. And man, I bought these tickets already, had the group ready to go. And
you bought tickets to the game?
Tickets to the game. So I had that all in the package. So a lot of money went up front,
Gotcha.
And Michael Vick broke his leg in preseason.
Daggone.
And you talking about, I never forget that, man. He was playing Baltimore, and the everybody ready to go in, whoop, man. Are you talking about nobody wanted to go?
Get out of here.
And it was always, the good thing is that game wasn't until November. He did it in preseason. So we're thinking, okay, it's going to come along.
Right.
Man, I was like, he didn't play that game. So I was out there. Me and my buddy were out there in New Orleans. The game was in New Orleans. I'm trying to sell these tickets back and scalping, hustling, trying to get a little bit of my money back.
Right.
And then this was kind of funny that I didn't know. It's territories. Like you in somebody's territory if you selling just like the game. Yeah.
Okay. You
So,
hustling in somebody's
you're on
territory.
somebody's corner, you selling tickets. And so I'm like, oh no. So we, it was one problem after another, but man, we but all that being said is those were some of the challenges, and those were some of the challenges going forward. But my biggest, my breakthrough came through when I told people no.
Gotcha.
And when I told people no, I can't help you, or no, that doesn't fall into my category, because I was trying to do everything for everybody.
Everybody, right?
Yeah, well, if you wanted a hotel in Arkansas just to visit grandma, I'm trying to do it.
Right.
Or, if you're trying to do a mega bus or something, I'm trying to help you out with everything. Or whatever I'm trying to do, and it wasn't in my niche until I really honed my niche and said, hey, I'm going to deal with luxury travel for busy professionals and really hone in on that target. That's when I started seeing my my business grow.
Start to grow. So let me ask you, man, so what did you learn from your trip to New Orleans and almost getting jacked up, man, trying to scalp these tickets, man?
Well, the first thing I learned is really you have to have a game plan for everything out there. And you really don't want to go put things up front until you already have that that audience or that customer in there. So I learned how to really rearrange travel to, I'm not going to put a lot of money up front until I already have an audience ready to go. Yeah. And that was my, that was probably one of the biggest issues out there, and really saying, is this what I really want to do? Because that particular type of travel. Right. But I learned a lot really of just making sure that I have a solution to that problem, and you really have anything to say. If I had if something goes wrong, what is step A, step B, step C to recover from it? Yeah.
Yeah. Cause it's funny, but see, you wouldn't have known that until you were in the business, right?
Exactly.
Until you went and had that experience. And that's what I tell people all the time. You can plan and you can write a 500-page business plan and all of this stuff. But until you get in and start mixing around, you're not going to understand the intricacies and the nuances of even your business. Doesn't matter even how long you've been in the business, until you're doing it, those type of things come out, man. So BEB family, the light bulb needs to go off right here. So you can do all the planning you want, but until you get in and mix around, you're really not going to know what this business or whatever your business is entails. And that's a good story, man. Lesson learned. And obviously, I know you're not going to do that again, man.
Oh, no.
One of the things, because I've vetted you and I follow you on social media. So anybody that comes on the show, we got to make sure they're legit. So the man is legit, because every time I look at social media, man, you're all over the world. And one of the things is, and we talked before we got on, what a professional can bring, not just sitting there behind a computer, but I know you go out and you work directly with resorts and you go and visit these resorts. So you'll have a personal understanding of what people are going to get. Can you take us behind the curtain a little bit in the travel industry and let us know? We know obviously why we pay you for your services, because you're a professional, but some people might not understand that you actually go out and you look at and visit a lot of the places that you're recommending to people. So can you take us a little behind the curtain in the industry?
I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, because I really, it's the problem with this industry, it's a low entry barrier. So sometimes you may get your cousin say, I'm a travel agent. And some people think it's just actually just booking a vacation. Right. And that's where the problem lies, because it's not. I actually travel to a variety of different places out there, vetting these destinations, working with tourism boards, going to industry conferences, great relationships and network. And that allows me to actually go and help my clients when it comes to their vacation, because I can vet through and I can filter through the different challenges out there, because I have that point of contact. For example, if we have a challenge in a destination, boom, I already know somebody to call in that destination, or I have a contact for you. So, that really helps. And when we build that network of people, that is when you talk to me, that's what you're getting, is that strong network of people in this industry. And you really need that. It's not just about point, click, and book a hotel, or trying to get the lowest of this and that. It's really trying to design that vacation and know that you have a backing when you're traveling.
Providing value. And one of the things that I always talk about, I mentioned this on a show a couple of weeks ago, but pouring into others that pour into you. So, and I'm going to say this again. I was on, and I'm going to give this as an example. A lot of times we always look for hookups, right? But my thing is, if somebody's providing you a service, they need to be paid for their services. So, for example, I know you do free consultations and things of that nature. And in our pre-interview, you had mentioned how you kind of had to rearrange that because people were sucking up a lot of your time and then going to book somewhere else after they get your expertise. So one thing I need to say to the BEB family is, we always want to support Black businesses, but respect the profession and the time of the professionals that you're dealing with. So Brother Belvin, I know he's going to help you, and do everything he can for him. So for him pouring into you, and this is just an example, it could be anybody, make sure that you reciprocate, because this brother is taking time with you. And, don't go, oh yeah, I'm gonna get all the info from Belvin, then I'm gonna go online or go to my cousin Scooter and sign up through his stuff. You know what I mean? So one of the things that we have to do as a people, man, is keep supporting each other and recognize and understand value. So for example, I went out to Tupelo, Mississippi, probably about 8-9 months ago to do a book talk. So young brother, good friend of mine, was like, man, come on out. I did it on my own dime. Didn't expect anything, just went out there, wanted to connect with the BEB family. So the brother that was doing the videography out there, he was like, man, what do you think what do you think I should pay you? And I'm like, my first thought was zero, but not really. But my first thought was, I said, well, man, what do you normally charge? And he's like, well, I don't want to make it too high, blah, $250. And I was like, too high? I was like, man, that's great. I said, for all the stuff that you're doing? And I said, look here, man. I said, let's make it $350. Oh man, $350. Because I value his time. I always want to make sure that, if people are providing a service, that they get paid. And I know we always, a lot of times, looking for that hookup. Yo, you got this hookup, you got that. The hookup is cool, but make sure that you understand that the people that are serving you or providing you products and services, they need to get paid. And so I just want the BEB family to understand that, so we don't shortchange our Black businesses, service providers and also product providers. We need to make sure that they get paid so they can continue to provide that service. So I wanted to touch with you real quick, man. We had talked pre-interview about your consultations. And can you give us an idea what a free consultation consists of? And I know it's only for a limited couple of minutes, right?
Right. So what it is, a lot of people think when it comes to using the travel, it's a lot of different misconceptions when it comes to travel advisors, or I consider myself a consultant. So basically, we're travel consultants. What I want to do is, we usually give you 15 minutes of free consultation. So during that 15 minutes, we kind of give you an idea. You tell us, what are you trying to do? What are your, where are you trying to go? If there's a, basically, what's the budget? What's out there for you? What are your options? So during that time, we talk about all that in those 15 minutes. And then if you feel that you say, okay, Belvin, I'd like to move forward. Let's go with pricing. Let's go with designing this vacation based on the information that I provide. Then we'll start working on it. And that's when we start using our industry contacts and our expertise to design that. So when we design that, that's when the consultant fee begins. And that's only after if you agree to move forward with us. But this is, during that 15 minutes, it's almost it's a talk between both of us to see if this is a right fit. If this is a right fit, if this is a right fit, we move on. If not, we understand.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's kind of the process that you use for your business. And I'm sure that was honed over, years of experience.
A lot of trials.
Man, so in terms of planning a vacation, how far in advance, if somebody wants to plan a nice luxury travel vacation, should they get in contact with you?
I would say at minimum, well, I wouldn't say at minimum. Ideal would probably be a year out.
Okay.
A year out. But keep in mind, flights are not available to approximately 10 months prior.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
what we do is we kind of do, sometimes when people do a year out, some people are doing even more than a year out. They would do the land portion, and then we will add the flights when they become available. So published rates, the airlines do not provide published rates to about 10 months prior.
Okay. So now if I'm planning a big vacation or, you know, with my wife and I, if I start planning a year out, does that give me, can I start paying on that, you know, that 12 months out? And then like 45 days before you go, like you were saying, I need to pay the balance. Can I do that so I don't have to come up with a big chunk right away?
Exactly, you can, and that also your the people that you referred in your group, they can do the same payment as well. So what happens is, and that's what a lot of, you know, when we deal a lot with groups, birthdays or any celebration groups, what they do is they'll have a link that we'll provide that they give out to all their family and friends. And the great thing about it is you as a group leader, you don't have to worry about it. So you're not asking, cousin Joe, did you make your payment, or, you know, are you not collecting monies and stuff like that? We handle all that for you. So that's the main thing, is we take the stress out of it. So if somebody's trying to design that vacation, we'll put it, that group vacation, we'll put it together for you. And then you just invite the others, and we take care of the individual invoicing and things of that nature. And what we'll do is we'll provide you with a report to say, this is who's all going. So you'll get an idea, just in case you want to do something extra for those people. Maybe send them a card or thank you card or something like that. Main thing is you don't want to be surprised of who's showing up. So.
Right. So, you know what, man, make sure we connect, man, because I'm thinking about putting together a BEB excursion where we're going to have fun and also learn some business stuff. So that would be a great way to allow people to come and plan out in advance to be able to travel. So we definitely going to chop it up about that, man. I'm not going to hold you too much longer, but I got a couple other things I wanted to ask you, man. As a seasoned entrepreneur, what 3 pieces of advice would you give to a new entrepreneur or somebody that is thinking about becoming an entrepreneur? What are your 3 top, and I know it's off the top of your head, so the 3 top pieces of advice you would give to new and prospective entrepreneurs?
I would say number 1, learn your craft. Take the time to learn your craft, learn what you really want to do, and try to be an expert in that. Take the training, do whatever it needs to, you need to do. Next, number 2 is build a community. And when I say learn your craft, let me go back to that. You're solving a problem. Solve a problem, provide a solution. And that's what comes with learning your craft. And then you find that community out there. So you find that community for that problem or solution, and build that community by providing content to them and showing them that you're the expert. And the last thing I would do is provide service. Overachieve on the service. You'd rather, because that's the way you're going to grow your business and get those referrals that you need.
Right. Definitely. All right. Those are 3 good points, family. So make sure you stay tuned to that. So learn your craft, build a community, and provide excellent or exceedingly good service. And you're right, because if you get service that is over and above, people are going to definitely come back and gravitate toward that, man. Let me ask you this, Belvin. Where do you see yourself in your business in 5 years?
Wow. I think about this all the time because you're always putting ideas and goals together. But really what I want to do is I want to be the point man or the point service for busy professionals looking to take a leisure luxury vacation. So as we grow, we want to provide, be the leader in that industry. Not only that, we want to, what I see is building a strong community, almost like a membership. It's free, but still, you come in and we're going to have resources out there for all the busy professionals. Hey, you're looking for an accountant? Hey, I know somebody that can have that. Or you're looking for, people come to me sometimes. Do you know so on and so work?
Right.
That maybe can help them grow in their business. I've had people in different industries come together, and I want to kind of build that community out there. Right now, it's to the point 5 years from now, I really want to have a team. It's kind of hitting on every aspect. We have a small team, but I want to grow, have a bigger team out there.
Excuse me. Okay. So now, even with organizations, so you can work, say it's a sorority, fraternity, organizations, you can plan those type of events for them too, correct?
Correct. We've had, just like you're doing, we're looking at with entrepreneurs who want to have their own community. We build a retreat. I've always done sorority and fraternities chapter anniversaries. We've done those as well. In fact, if you look on our YouTube videos, Showtime Travel, you'll see some of those videos out there. So we, a variety, just like I said, it's for the person, from the solo to the couple to the groups. We handle them all.
Okay, cool. That's good to know, man. Do you have an exit strategy in your business? I know we taking it down the line. So it's the 5-year plan. Then I'm wonder, do you have an exit strategy, or do you want to be able to pass this down to your children?
Well, the funny thing, I put a little thought into the exit strategy, but the main thing is, when I started this business, I really wanted it to grow and go to family. I wanted it to be kind of like, a lot of
legacy
businesses out there that started off small and then kind of grow and grow. And hopefully it will be a family tradition, because I like it. I like providing people with memories, and hopefully that I can pass that along to others as well.
Yeah. And you made a good point, man. It's funny because we look at some of the big Fortune 500 companies now. It all started with an idea, right. Somebody in their garage, Microsoft, Bill Gates. You have DuPont. I tell people all the time, they actually started out selling gunpowder to the French and the Americans, during the revolution.
Both sides.
That was what they started, gunpowder. And then from there, they went on to other things, and now they're a multinational conglomerate. So don't ever shortchange yourself just because you may be working in your basement or your garage today. What opportunities are out there, especially with the technology and being able to leverage technology now. And I talked about this on one of the previous episodes. Today is like the greatest time. Any young entrepreneurs out there in college, getting ready to come out of college, man, you don't know what it was like 25 years ago when there was no internet. You're over there taking orders by phone, by mail, and stuff like that. So take advantage and leverage the technology, not just to have fun and play games and social media. Leverage that so you can build your business, build your brand up. The last question, man, well, next to the last, we had talked earlier about some misconceptions, because one of the misconceptions I think that I had previously with travel was, why am I going to pay somebody when I can go online and I have all this plethora of information? So I know we had talked a little bit about that, using your expertise as a professional, but what are some of the other misconceptions about using a travel consultant?
Yeah, I would say, all of those out there, I hear them a lot. When it comes to misconceptions, probably one of the first misconceptions is when people say, I'm not going to use a travel agent, I'm going to do it online. Right. When you do it online, you're still using a travel agent.
Yeah, so, OTA, right?
Yeah, online OTA, online travel agency, Expedia, Orbitz, Hotwire, all of them are travel agencies. So, you're still not going around. It's a distribution model. Basically, the people do not. It's just like It's just like Nike and Foot Locker. They really don't want you to go to Nike. They'd rather have you go do the distribution, which is Foot Locker, or, Foot Action or something like that. So as a distributor, that's what we do. So I think one of the major misconceptions, I hit on this before, is looking at reviews and looking at and looking at different things out there, and taking that for the gospel. And
Right.
it's so many ways that some people are using sometimes their own employees to change their reviews and things like that nature. It is more than just pointing and clicking. When you want to design, you really want to take that stress out and use a professional, because it's important to you. That's all I said is, if that vacation is important to you, you don't want to leave it up to chance. So that's why I say, you probably want to use a professional and not just really rely on somebody else's opinion that really does not meet your expertise or luxury. For example, just like you said with your friend who said, who referred you to that movie. Yeah. That's just how people are. To him, that probably was up there.
Right. Exactly.
Your standards, no.
Nah, bro.
No.
If you would have caught me in college or right out of college, I would have been cool with that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've become accustomed
to
Yeah. I want to go somewhere where I can feel comfortable. Like you said, man, when you can't lay your head on the pillow, that's no way to spend a vacation, man.
Well, and that's the thing about it too is our clients, they're grown people. It's not about putting 5 in a hotel room and unless it's a family, of course. But exactly. It's not just you want to.
It's not spring break. It's not college spring break, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Right. So I'm not just like I said, I'm not just here to just put a stamp in and just to say I'm here. I'm here to go. Right. I'm on vacation. I'm traveling.
Building memories. That's what's up, man. Before we close out with this last question, man, is there anything that I failed to bring out that you want to let the BEB family know? Then we're going to let you give all your social media and contact information. And I know you got a lot of resources people can use. Is there anything that I forgot to ask you that you think that you need to bring out?
Well, I just want to tell people like this, using a travel consultant, if hopefully you use Showtime Travel, is I really want you to kind of understand we're here to design that vacation and that memory for you. We understand that, anybody can book a vacation. And I understand that. My whole goal is we want to design a vacation for you. Anybody can point and click. You come to us to design a vacation. And what I want to do is make sure that we have those industry contacts out there for the BEB family and those who you refer to let you know that we're here to provide service. And that's what I've been doing and helping the clients. And I just feel that sometimes people kind of, they don't see it out there. I was so happy, man, when I saw and I'm able to experience it. I'm always talking to my family is, hey, I want to make sure that you guys see this and experience it, and it's attainable. And that's why I always say, you deserve a luxury vacation. It is very attainable. I want you guys to know that it just comes with planning and finding the right budget and services for you.
Cool. That's what's up, man. All right. The last question, brother, and then we'll let you give all your contact information and all your resources. If you had the opportunity to speak to one person, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Wow. Well, let me do 2 for you real quick. Right. 2. One opportunity.
All right, I'll let you slide, man.
Oh, well, okay. Well, 2 real quick. I always want to thank my parents. I really want to thank my parents because I don't take it for granted, but because both of them are living, and it's something that, as you grow, you understand that. And I really want to just thank them because my mom was a hustler. She did, she did everything from taxes. I remember Jerry curls. I used to go out and get the Jerry curl kit when ladies came over, and she did the flowers for the church. She did it all. She was a hustler. Where my dad, on the other hand, he actually had a business where he did, tailored clothes and sold suits. So if you're in Dayton, Ohio, and you remember City and Gentlemen, that was my dad. So I always like to say, give them their flowers while they're, here. And I would interview and thankful. But the person that's passed is my grandfather.
Okay.
My grandfather, and this is probably nothing to do with business, but he was, he designed one of the founders of the Black Panther Party.
Wow.
In Lowndes County, Alabama. People think that it started in Oakland. It actually started in Lowndes. And,
Wow.
and those people came to Lowndes to learn before they went to Oakland. And, you know, if you, Grandpa No Favors, if you look up Jesse Favors, Googling, he's in the books and everything. It was funny because I went to the Civil Rights Museum in Memphis, and you looking in there, man, that's my grandpa.
Get out of here. Wow. That's crazy.
It's crazy. So, you know, I would interview him just to see those things, you know, learn about, you know, the, you know, people being on the front lines and things of that nature back in those days.
Oh man, that's a great one, bro. That's a great one. You got a good bloodline there, brother.
Man, and the crazy thing is, you know, growing up, he never spoke about it.
Get out of here.
You know, it's just one of those things, you know. So, and it's, you know, as I grew up, you know, like, oh, you start reading about him more than you knew about it. So,
get out of here.
Man,
so how can everybody get in touch with Showtime Travel? Do you have any resources for the BEB family? So give us all your contact information, brother.
All right, first, I'm going to give you resources for the BEB family. I want to make sure that we're helping you out. Just like I said, visit showtimetravel.com. That's showtimetravel.com, all one word. And if you click on, a pop-up will come up. And if you just put your information in, I'm going to give you my preferred best luxury all-inclusive resorts. So it will help you when you're planning that getaway. If you're trying to do an all-inclusive resort, these are the ones that I vetted. These are the ones that I like through my travels. Definitely click on that, showtimetravel.com. You're going to see the pop-up. Just put your information in, and it will come right away. The next one, too, if you want to plan a vacation and you're thinking about it and you want to talk to me, there is a link there. You know, just like I said, it's for the 15-minute free consultation. Just click on that Plan My Vacation link, put your information in, and we'll set up a time. We'll schedule a time to speak with you. If you're trying to find me, I'm pretty much on a lot of different platforms, but these are the platforms that I really want you to follow. Make sure Showtime Travel, look on YouTube, just put in Showtime Travel. This is where you're going to see all our videos at our different destinations, our interviews out there, our, you know, pretty much our testimonials. You'll see all those on those videos. So make sure you go to YouTube and just put in Showtime Travel and make sure you subscribe. I need you to subscribe and then put the notification on. So when we do put up a new video, in fact, we're about to go to Tahiti. In Bora Bora. I want you to see those videos. So make sure that you subscribe. Another thing, on Instagram, look up Showtime Travel. Make sure that you follow us there. Always Facebook as well, Showtime Travel. And another thing that, you know, I know a lot of busy professionals are out there. Make sure that you follow me on LinkedIn. Just put in Belvin Baldwin II or Belvin Baldwin. You'll see me come up. Just make sure that you follow me on LinkedIn, because I put a lot of information out there on LinkedIn, because that's where I see a lot of busy professionals. So make sure you follow us there.
Cool. You know how we do, BEB family. We have somebody on. We definitely want to show the love and support. So make sure you check out Showtime Travel. And you just talked about going to Tahiti and Bora Bora. So this is what I'm talking about, family. He's not just going out there chilling on vacation for himself, even though I know you're going to have a good time when you're out there. But you're out there, I'm sure, you know, going to resorts, you know, making connections and things of that nature. So he didn't say he was getting ready to go to Atlantic City. He said Tahiti and Bora Bora. So that's the type of level of professionalism that you're going to get with Showtime Travel and Belvin Baldwin. Belvin, my brother, I appreciate you coming on, man. Anytime you got anything going, let me know, man. And we're going to have you back on later on. So when you blow up and got about 25 agents in there working and hustling and you're living in Tahiti, we'll make sure we get you back on, brother.
All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
All right.
That was an amazing interview with Mr. Belvin Baldwin from Showtime Travel. So you know how we do, family. If you are looking for a luxury travel experience, not a vacation, an experience, then make sure you connect with Belvin. Here's some information for him. His website is showtimetravel.com. His personal Instagram is luxury.travel.by.belvin. That's luxury.travel.by.belvin. The company name, IG, is Showtime Travel. LinkedIn, go to Belvin Baldwin II. YouTube, Showtime Travel. And Facebook, Showtime Travel. All right, once again, the website, showtimetravel.com. Personal IG, luxury.travel.by.belvin. Company IG, Showtime Travel. LinkedIn, Belvin Baldwin II. YouTube, Showtime Travel. And Facebook, Showtime Travel. So make sure that you connect with Brother Belvin. He does tremendous work in the community. And once again, we're talking about not a vacation, but experiences. And so we're going to remember those experiences a lot longer than other things that we do. So in terms of an actual gift or something for a family, for a couple or whatever, experiences are where it's at right now. So make sure you connect and link up and get a free consultation with Brother Belvin, and he'll definitely take care of you. Before we close out, guys, I just want to share my social media contact information and my resource links. So if you need to connect with me via social media, Facebook, you can go to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Also, if you need to email me anything long, go to jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES @blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Twitter, jjones001, JAYJONES, Instagram, jjones for real, that's the number 4, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. YouTube, once again, go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, because I have additional content that comes out on YouTube that is not actually on the podcast. Also, LinkedIn, please connect with me. Just type in J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and you'll find me on LinkedIn. Also, if you need to book me, if you're interested in me coming out to speak at an event, church, school, college, university, high school, please go to bookjjones.com, fill out the short form, and I'll get right back to you. I love to come out and meet the BEB family in person. So please make sure if you have an event or something and you want somebody to speak about entrepreneurship, black entrepreneurship, anything pretty much you need me to talk about as it comes to entrepreneurship and economic empowerment in the black economy and worldwide economy, I'm here for you. All right, now, also my resources. So once again, you know this show is all about building an economic power base in the black community. So my new book is out, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. You can go to anewblackwallstreet.com, pick yourself up a copy. We have the physical copy for $14.95 and also the digital edition for $9.95. If you need additional assistance building your successful, sustainable e-commerce business, my flagship course is titled educatedecommerce.com. Go to educatedecommerce.com and register for the online course. Now, in terms of circulating black dollars worldwide, I've created 2 platforms for us, guys. The first one is for black product producers who want to sell their products to black consumers worldwide, and it's called BeSmartByBlack.com, BeSmartByBlack.com. It's free to upload your products to the platform, and you could connect and sell with black consumers worldwide. Now, if you are a freelancer, you do anything on Fiverr or freelancer.com, I've created a platform for you also titled HireBlackFreelancers.com, HIRE, blackfreelancers.com. Once again, that is also free. Upload your information and you can connect with black consumers and black businesses that want to hire black freelancers. Also, you know I'm saying a mouthful, but if you go to bebconnect.com, if you're listening to this, go to bebconnect.com. All my resource links and social media contacts will be on that page. Also, the latest podcast episode. So go to bebconnect.com. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, all the links I just talked about are below. So make sure you click the links, link up with me on social media, and make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we're going to be doing a lot more stuff on YouTube as the year closes out. Hey, I say this each and every week, but I got to say it because I mean it and it comes from the heart. We get more and more downloads because of the BEB family. I want to thank you guys, and please continue to share via social media, also word of mouth or whatever you need to do. But please share the links. Also share the content in the podcast, because once again, guys, it's all about empowering the black community. My goal is to build an economic power base in the Black community, and I can't do that without you guys. So I want to first and foremost thank you for that, and please continue to spread the word about the podcast and the blog and all the resource links. Love you guys. I'll see you same time next week. Peace.